Hi everybody, here's your video on how to deal with the combined gas law when you need to solve for something that's in the denominator. So if you want, I would definitely suggest getting out your most recent quiz and looking at that very last problem and following along.
Okay, so here's the written problem, and then this is the other chemistry teacher's key, but I'm going to show things a little bit differently. But basically, we have a sample of gas in a rigid container with 3 particle units. We have an initial temperature and an initial pressure. We have a final pressure and a final temperature, and they want to know how many particles. So when I list this out, here's what I've got here. I have change in pressure, I have change in temperature, we're solving for number of particles, then they said it's a rigid container. So this isn't a question mark, it's actually being held constant. And so what that means when we set up the problem here, we don't have to put anything in there. Okay, so let's just put our numbers in and see what we come up with here. And then if you don't like that way, I'm going to show you another one. Okay, so let's just plug everything in. So for P1, I have 1.00 atmospheres on the top being divided by N1, which is 3.00 particle units, multiplied by the temperature at the start, 273 Kelvin. And then that's going to equal P2, 2.00 ATM. And my dog's sleeping in the background, so you might hear him. Okay, this is what we're solving for. All right, N1 here. Okay, so we have this all set up. I had a little issue with barking dogs, so I'm just gonna restart. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to figure out how to get X on its own. So one of the first things I do when I'm just looking at problems, assessing what's easy, is if I have all numbers on one side, I'm just going to get those into a number. So I put those in my calculator right here, and I got that all of this was equal to 0.001221. I'm not going to write my units anymore because we already checked those. So X times 282. Okay, so that's already looking a little bit more manageable, right? So first thing we can do, hey, let's get X by itself. So let's multiply both sides by X. Now, some people might ask, can't you just divide by 2? No, okay. If I divided by 2 on both sides to get the 2 over here to try to get the X by itself, well, if I divided this by 2, I would still be left with 1 over X times 282, okay? So that denominator thing, make sure you're not just dividing by the stuff on the top. You're going to have to actually multiply out by everything on the bottom, just like I'm doing here, okay? So if we multiply both sides by X, we're pretty good there. Let's just take care of the 282 at the same time in the same step. Okay, so those are going to cancel. So right now we have 282 times X times 0.001221 equals this number. So some things you could do, you could get a number right now and then divide it out, or you could divide both of these out. I'm going to get a number and just see what happens. So 282 multiplied by my previous answer. Oops, I can press the right button. Okay, I got 0.344322. We'll worry about sig figs later. So I'm getting this is equal to all of that, and then that's equal to 2 over here. Let me just rewrite it out so it's nice and clear. 2 equals 2.00. Okay, so how do we solve for X, right? We're going to divide both sides. Okay. And I do hope you're using even the other TIs that we have in class have that second answer function, so you should never be retyping in something that you already got. So I'm going to take 2 and divide by my previous answer. Okay, and so what I got is that X equals 5.80851. So a couple of things to clean this up at the end. Sig figs. So we got to count whatever had the fewest. We have 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. So I'm going to round to 3. Pretty easy. 5.8. Look at the number to the right. Oh, it's an 8. We round up to 1. Now we need units on this. We're using particle units. So that is how you do that type of problem. Now, another way, sometimes people get confused with the numbers. They just want to rearrange the equation first, do the algebra with the letters, and then plug in all the numbers. That can be easier for people's brains. So here's how we would do this. You would write out your equation. And then just make sure you know what you're solving for. So what I might do is replace it with a big X like this. Okay, and know that you're solving for X. So it might help people, okay, hey, we need to multiply both sides by T2. So we're going to multiply this by T2, okay? And then we need to multiply both sides by x. Same thing, same work we were doing before. Okay, we're going to multiply by x. So what we're left with right now, we have this whole thing is now equal to just P2. So now we need to get everything out over here. So this stuff is doing the dividing. So we're going to get P2 times N1 times T1. Okay, and then that's going to cancel these out because we multiplied. Canceled, canceled. Okay, so now we have this left by itself. Now we need to divide those. Okay, so we're going to get T2 P1. Same thing as up here. This works a little bit better in my brain, but some people like doing this first and then just plugging in the values that they already pulled out of the problem. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope you followed along. Do some practice problems.